in the game. But more importantly, throw the first punch. Get off to a good start. We saw it today with the Bombers. Can the Saints do it?
All right, the challenge has been set for the St Kilda Football Club. Can they do it? Stand by. Action is coming up now from Etihad Stadium.
Keep a close eye on that match-up all night. The Saints have got to get something going in the middle. They haven't won the clearance count very often at all this year. They've got to give their forwards first use.
Big night. Here we go. Grundy's had a really good time of it. Hickey stretched over the top of him. Seb Ross with the first clearance. High ball forward. Membry taken out of it. And a nice mark taken in defence by Matty Scharenberg.
He gets better every week, JB.
Starting to show us what that high draft looked like. Murray swings the ball out to Crisp. Long down the line. Grundy got hands, couldn't hang on. Saints there in number.
Jimmy Webster got it from Hunter Clark, and that's a spearing pass. And beautifully taken athletically by big Tom Hickey. Gets it to the one-on-one. Scharenberg. Nunes trying to come through. Was lonely socket off the ground by the Saints. And Nunes couldn't quite get it online. So the first score is a minor one.
Brody Grundy in that contest, a bit of a knock. He looks okay. He's up and about. Well done, Scharenberg. He's been involved in 2 one-on-ones and has taken a mark and brought the other one to ground.
And took 14 marks last week, Richo, against the Cats, Scharenberg. So he's just building beautifully. And a 50-metre penalty to Collingwood here. That will help relieve the pressure. But Scharenberg's ability to read the ball in the air means he's not just defending, he's intercept marking as well.
Mav Weller just wandering into the zone, and it's a fair old 52. Jeez, have a look at that for some real estate.
To me.
So Crisp can head inside 50 with this ball. Does, it's a high one up. Big Mason Cox, the target, it gets to the back. There is Phillips, just a little fumble. De Goey goes to ground hard. The forward pressure coming, Varco involved in it. For Solo as well. The silk of side bottom just couldn't get it done. And a behind.
Let's have a look at Brody Grundy again. He just got his legs taken slightly out from under him. And I believe that he's still out there up and running.
Taylor Holt, play on.
It's a good sign, as Jim pointed out before. He's had a superb start to the year. Savage now exits defence. Flynn Appleby, the defender. Membry in front.
Membry was able to find the ball last week a number of times inside 50. Unfortunately, he didn't convert, but I thought he looked like he was finding form. The way he was marking, the way he was leading for the footy. So let's hope he can get going again tonight, Membry.
It was interesting. Alan Richardson has taken position at ground level to start this game. Look at the class and the poise. They just peel off the captain in Pendlebury. That's not a smart idea. Side bottom, body line that couldn't quite pick it up. Thomas can kick goals, gets it back to Phillips, and he's hit the wrong side of the footy, out of bounds on the full.
Darcy mentioned the class of Scott Pendlebury. He had a lot of room at that last stoppage. He was standing there at one stage looking around him thinking, is somebody going to come anywhere near me? He thought he had that much room. He almost didn't believe it, and then found the footy.
Bailey Rice, a nice little first up ball, and now they're out here, the Saints. Streaming through the middle, Jaron Geary. Long ball in the Membry direction. Front and centre now, they've got numbers everywhere. Look at Big Hickey get back. It's going to get to him, is it? Murray did well. Still the numbers crash down, though, here for the Saints. But that, for Big Marshall, ain't going to work.
Yeah, he's a bit stiff there, Tom Hickey. He pushed forward really hard there on Brody Grundy, and the kick just didn't have enough carry on it. He should have run into an open goal, but he's already taken a mark, and he's trying to get forward on Grundy.
Yeah, he's working hard to get back on big Brody Grundy, but that kick from Crisp out of bounds on the full. And so the Saints are going to launch another inside 50. Nunes buys a little bit of territory, sends it long. Marshall in front, Scharenberg at the backspin in the play. Oh, he's copped it up. And it's going to be a goal to Jack Loney, first of the night to the Saints.
Well done, Jack Loney. Back into this St Kilda team tonight. That's his first goal of the season. A promising start by the Saints. Some good ball movement from the back pocket. They went the length of the ground. They've had 4 inside 50s to 2. So a bright start for the Saints tonight. Dangerous kick to the top of the square, and Loney, the opportunist, puts it through. Back into the team.
They're going to get another centre clearance here through Luke Dunstan. Goes long in the Marshall direction. There's Loney front and centre again. Did a pretty nice job. Through the hands of side bottom. You don't say that often. Now he's in real trouble. Armitage has latched onto him. Phillips involved as well, and we'll get a stoppage.
Couple of really
At the back, thank you.
really good centre
stand up,
breaks
please, from here.
by the Saints. They've only won the clearance count in one game this year, but they've had a good start tonight.
Opportunity again, trying to crash through. But it was Langdon, and it was also Treloar. Got hold of Armitage. You can see huge amount of numbers around this one. Rowan Marshall, Grundy, Luke Dunstan flicked it out via steal. Armitage dispossessed. Langdon now. Can the Pies through Pendlebury get something going at half-back?
Swing the handball wide. Some overlap running is good. Howe sticks it out into the path of Wells. Not quite going to be able to track it down, I don't reckon. Webster was out there with him and will have a boundary throw-in.
Really improved player, Jimmy Webster, on screen. Probably the most improved player at St Kilda, having a good season.
And Richo, he's playing as the deepest defender. One out with your man Jordan De Goey, so big challenge for him.
Might have hit Grundy in the head. Seb Ross tries to swing it back, doesn't get good contact. Crisp with a nice handball. Goes back and finds it, Crisp, and then just couldn't quite hang on. And they grab hold of him. Saints fans screaming for holding the ball, not going to get it. Side bottom trying to work through some traffic. Big Brown charges at it. Stevenson came through. Main's in there as well. It's a tough ball to win.
They're going to get out via Jack Sinclair, only to centre wing, where Jeremy Howe, game 150 for Jeremy Howe. To Appleby, and now Tom Phillips on the mark. Younger brother Ed, just his second game. That's a really well-crafted kick inboard to Treloar.
Just Treloar's first disposal.
Fairly well set up defensively are the Saints, so that's the out kick to the big American Cox. He did a pretty good job coming through. Stevenson's dangerous. Webster, Luke Dunstan, and Jimmy Webster. Beautiful ball to memory.
Wasn't that fantastic? He had about 3 goes at eyeing a kick off and eventually bit exactly what he could chew, and there's a 50. Another protected zone. Ed Langdon.
Tom Langdon.
Ed just ran straight through it. No awareness
the
at all.
umpire called him Ed there,
I went with
JB.
Ed. I followed the umpire, as you do, Big Chub.
Yeah, he tricked you there, the umpire.
Anyway, what we've got now is Tim Membry, who has had all sorts of problems with this part of the game.
Yeah, 1 goal 5 last week. He is a good kick. If he gets this, it'll do the world of good for his confidence.
5-9 from set shots in 2018, so it's troubled him. That's what's ahead of Tim Membry and the goal face. Kick on the way, and he has stuck it right.
Extraordinary, isn't it? He was just such a superb set shot kick, Richo. The previous 2 years, that was his absolute specialty.
Yeah, it was. The last 2 seasons, he's been very accurate, and it's kicked 38 goals, 14 last year. So he is a good kick. He's just having a bad run.
The debutant, Bailey Rice. Nice mark, nice kick. Good start. The Saints, they have a fair bit of the footy here. Savage, Hunter Clark. Going to send a long one to the goal square. Scharenberg back there in best position and took the defensive mark. And another 50.
You got the 50, Ronnie.
That's frustrating for St Kilda because they've had the advantage early. They had an opportunity there to keep it locked in their forward half, and you just can't cough up those 50-metre penalties like that.
Scharenberg short to Crisp. Up there on the bounce. He goes to Grundy. Outmatched was Rice.
Stay with him, Jack.
So the big ruckman takes a pretty comfortable mark on the wing, half forward.
Come, hold the mark there,
Adams.
Jack. Play on.
Sees something he likes, runs a bit of an arc, and then just pumps a long one in the Cox direction. It doesn't get to him. Look at Wells. How well has he done that throughout his unbelievable footy career?
That was the perfect front and square crumb. You put that in a training video. He just timed that to perfection, as James called it. And what a silky operator he is, Daniel Wells. Great to see him back out there. Late start to the season. Did some nice things last week against the Cats. But that was brilliant, that front and square.
Righty, boys.
255 games of sublime skill. Look, they're just right next to his opponent. He read it better. And you cannot just ball watch when you're trying to defend that man there. You need some sort of body on him to block his run. Brilliant, Daniel Wells.
One of the underrated skills of the game, the ability to time front and centre, and you just saw a perfect example of it. This is Nick Caulfield now at half-back. It's going to be a tight ball there. Good defensive spoil from Sam Murray.
In a lot of ways, you can't teach it either, can you? It's just instinctively known that front and centre, especially at the goal face.
One of our good mates, Nath Brown, I hate to say it, Richo, was particularly good at that part of the game. Used to get front and centre.
One of the best, Nathan.
Jeez, you think back to the Cracker brothers.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s and 90s, Jimmy and Phil, they just managed to do it with their eyes closed almost. What sublime skill that man on screen has.
Kevin Bartlett was pretty good at it as well.
Electric. Just, it's a innate thing in you. It's a time when you arrive at a front and centre. Great to see Daniel Wells back playing footy.
Nathan Brown would tell us too, Dust. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if we left him out of the conversation, we'd get a text pretty quick.
He's reasonably happy with himself, Nato.
There's Alan Richardson at ground level, working it from the boundary line. You can see in recent times the coach is really favouring that option to be down there. Jack Stephen thought he was tackled without the footing.
St. Kilda, Jack Stephen.
3 of the last 5, best and fairest. This man on screen with the footy in hand. Short to Billings. Had to go with the non-preferred. And in the end, it went up and down in the air a little bit, almost came back to him. So not how they want to transition with the footy, the Saints.
So Cameron Ling talking about Jack Billings pre-match, and if he can fulfil the enormous potential he has, he'll become an absolute star of the game, Jack Billings. Adams doesn't like what he saw down the ground, so he comes back. This is a dangerous kick. It's got to work.
Chopping the arms, Collingwood.
Broken out of the hands of Tom Phillips, but he'll end up with the footy.
Jake. Righty. Time back. Yep.
Taken enough time off the clock, though, to set the ground up, although that's a very easy release kick to Adams. And that's pretty easy, too. An uncontested mark to the skipper, Pendlebury. You don't want the ball in his hands. He finds an inside 50 target, and it's Main. Take a good kick from here. Instead of that, he dumps it off to Varco.
JB, you said it perfectly. There was plenty of time there to set up defensively for St Kilda to then allow 4 simple uncontested marks from the middle of the ground. That's not good defensively by the Saints. Alan Richardson wouldn't be happy with that at all.
Trav Varco. Set shot. And he's pulled it to the left. So we are all tied up.
Shane Savage there with the fullback kicking duties. Great look at what's in front of him. Just picked off a little short one to Jack Stephen. Always desperate to find the footy as that man. Oh, no, little fumble out there. Hunter Clark good enough to go back and get it to Billings, back to Geary. The skipper torpedoes one to the wing. And in front, the young big man Marshall did well. Armitage, beautiful left foot kick. Perfect to Gresham. Gresham out the back. Loney's had the first goal of the night and a golden opportunity to kick the second for the Saints.
Yeah, another good passage of play by St Kilda. They went end to end. And how did Loney get out the back? You probably wonder, but he had a heap of space out the back, and this will be a good start for him, a chance to kick his second goal.
Yeah, just in line with me, Jack.
Had his own goal-kicking issues last year, Jack Loney, 6'14". Shouldn't miss from here. And he doesn't. Jack Loney's got a couple in the first quarter. Just the one game prior to tonight had a 4-goal game in the VFL, Jack Loney, and that's what you want to do coming back into the side. 2 first quarter goals is perfect start.
And he's brought that VFL form in here tonight. That was really good ball movement. That centering kick opened things right up for St Kilda, and they've put together a couple of really nice passages of play tonight.
Get the ball in the hands of your good users, Richo. Davey Armitage bit off the kick that mattered.
And that then opens the whole ground up, James, that centering kick by Armitage. And every team wants to do that. Easier said than done sometimes, but that was a magnificent kick.
Through comes Treloar. Sees Main. Gets it back from Main. He's got to sit the left foot ball up forward of the footy. Big defensive fist. Work to do. Here's Geary. Nath Brown just hoisted high. Membry's parked under the footy. Scharenberg there as well. Membry did pretty well, but Scharenberg kept his feet. That kick's too heavy for Grundy. Through comes big Tommy Hickey. Got it off to Gresham, speaking about good users. He goes pounding long. Outnumber, though, was always going to work for Langdon.
Clear out, play on.
Langdon gets it moving quickly to Stevenson, who's got great leg speed. Push really hard to half-back. Good work right now. Geary, Hoskin, Elliott athletically gathered the footy. Main now searching for the footy. Little don't argue. And got it out wide to side bottom. Left or right, doesn't matter for Steele. Awkward half volley. De Goey picked it up beautifully. Cut back around Caulfield. Can he kick it from there? De Goey. Bending. Oh, Jordan De Goey. Great goal. Some real class attached to that young man. We've seen him kick a bag of 5. And that was something special. Jordan De Goey. And the quick reply, we're back to all squared up. 2 goals, 2 apiece, Richo.
Just made something out of nothing there, Jordan De Goey. We'll probably have another look at that, but I think Alan Richardson will be disappointed that he was able to get himself off the boundary line and back into a position to kick that goal. Let's have a look at De Goey here. It wasn't a great kick to him. I thought when he went there that he was trapped in on the boundary line, and he probably should have been hemmed in there. He was able to get back onto his preferred foot, and what a great finish.
You love the fact that he looked inboard first too. Yeah. Team first thinking. Phillips, stunning debut last week. That kick's a bit heavy, but it gets through Langdon. It gets to the back. Armitage unable to rope it in, but here comes the forward pressure. Armitage dived on top of the foot. He might be in a bit of trouble here, I think.
On the ball, Collingwood, dives on it.
4-1 out of the middle of the ground, St Kilda.
Thank you.
It's a good start in there.
Flynn Appleby playing his 4th game of AFL football. Cousin of the great golfer, Stuart Appleby. Lyndon Dunn down the wing. Brodie Grundy, well played.
Hold the mark on.
He's had an outstanding year, big Brodie. He really makes
the
other big man think about how they're going to play against him. Short one.
Jack, right there.
To Tom Phillips back inboard. Found Josh Thomas.
Just a little one to watch on the boundary here for St Kilda fans. Hunter Clark has just been on the bench the last 5 minutes getting his left ankle checked out. Getting it restrapped now, so he's going to try and come back out onto the ground, but pretty sore in that ankle.
Yeah, thanks, Lingy. Saints through Dunstan. He's going to have to work through some genuine pressure. This is young Ed Phillips. Just caressed a kick back to Dunstan. Wells sizing it up, and he's away, Daniel Wells.
That's what he does. He just breaks from traffic so effortlessly and dangerously. That kick was broken up in the air. Now the Saints have got work to do in their back half. There's Stephen. Thumping ball forward from Sinclair. 1 out. Nice hands, Membry. Now then, this is where the story becomes interesting.
Boys, clear out on the
Another good passage of play through the corridor for St Kilda. I reckon that's the 3rd time they've gone from defensive 50 to forward 50 through the middle of the ground. Short Bucks would like them to defend that a little bit better. Got through a little bit too easy.
You just want one of these to go through for him, don't you?
I reckon he kicks this, Jim. This is the range where players kick through it, they relax.
You just desperately want one of these to hit the boot nicely and sail through and settle this man down a touch. Kick is again fanning right.
I tell you what, they're all going to that exact same spot. We saw them last week, and Richo, everything is going to the right.
Yeah, look, the ball nearly tipped over a little bit on his ball drop there, and they did. Last week he missed 2 to that same position over at Optus Stadium in Perth to the right.
Jack. Wait. Hold, Mav.
Lyndon Dunn, ball in hand now.
Move it on. Play on.
You can see the Saints have pressed up. So now a contest. Oh, that's good mark, Langdon.
Advantage.
So played the chop in the arm, which means advantage can be played. Trelaw will always take it. Tried a little bit of a clever one over the top. Nearly coughed it up, but Chris Mayne's going to draw the free kick.
Right there.
Chris Mayne had career high 25 disposals last week.
Move it on. Play on.
Goes to Howe again. Uncontested mark, centre of the ground. Long ball. Inside 50 to go. He has it fisted away. There is Appleby, the man Luke Darcy just mentioned. It gets through his hands. It comes to Brown at the back, and Brown sits a high one down the line. Done, and the footy over. Speaking of Stewie Appleby, his cousin, one of the very few people ever to shoot a 59 on the US PGA Tour in a round of golf. That's rare air, Richo.
Par 72, was it?
I don't know what the par was, but
It's good.
there aren't many that have ever done it.
It's pretty good.
Good fella, Stewie Appleby.
That's it, having a 59. That's
Ridiculous.
Holding, Collingwood.
I have that all the time for 9 holes.
He's be happy on the front nine with it.
Got a fistful of his jumper.
Free kick goes the way of this enormous man, Mason Cox, 211 centimetre tall, 108 kilo American. Little 1-2 there. Howe got it from Pendlebury. Trelaw's going to have to go back and work through. Fumbled initially. Sleight of hand handball there from Pendlebury to Appleby. Pretty good looking kick, that one for Hoskin Elliott. And now Varco had a little bit of the sling about it, Richo. No damage done.
Did look like it a little bit there. He got his hand out. He didn't have his arms pinned, and the umpire was right there.
It's Bailey Rice. We heard Alan Richardson talk about how hard he is, which doesn't surprise anyone when you saw his old man go about it.
Yeah, he's hard as a cat's head, Dean Rice. St Kilda and Carlton.
To the ground. Seb Ross. Murray, look at the beautiful movement of Pendlebury. High ball inside the forward 50. At the back. Numbers coming everywhere, and a free kick's been given away to Hoskin Elliott. And it might have been Bailey Rice.
Yeah, he just got him high there. Let's have another look at it. Yeah, clear free kick. Hoskin Elliott, real goal kicker he is.
Made sure the umpire saw it.
He did. He
15 seconds, Will.
a little bit of mayonnaise on it. That's okay.
Should convert from here. And he does.
Been a good pickup for Collingwood, Will Hoskin Elliott. Kicking a goal and a half a game in season 2018. Gets out on the lead. He's got good pace. You get a bit of separation on the lead, and a pretty good season.
Always plenty to ponder when you're in that situation. Looking pretty relaxed. Nathan Buckley, Robert Harvey and the Collingwood coaching staff. Now Steele, Ross and Savage going to send it to half forward. That is normally the territory that Jeremy Howe patrols as well as anyone in game 150. Happy enough to get that one over for boundary throwing.
Normally takes one hanger a match, so we'll just wait for him to do it. It'll come. Well done, side bottom, to break it out of a couple of sets of hands, but Stephen was good. Sinclair stepped through a couple brilliantly. Handball off to Phillips on the run. Doesn't quite have the trip, and mightn't have been on line anyway, behind.
He's won mark of the round 15 times between 2011 and 2018. Jeremy Howe, he's been nominated 32 times.
It's extraordinary, Richard. What a great gift it is. We love it as part of our game, and I'm sure anyone's done it. Mason Cox, good hands, worked hard in front of Hickey. Just improving each week. This is Murray, and he loves to take the game on. And again, he finds a way to get it through to Langdon. That kick wasn't great. This is young Ed Phillips, just his second game of AFL footy. And he's got 50.
I think he went over the mark then, still side bottom.
Yeah, he thought he heard play on from the umpire. Thought Phillips had gone around a little bit, took the one step, and as soon as the umpire called 50, Steele knew exactly what he'd done wrong there.
I didn't think so, okay? Got to wait.
Look at Jack Loney there too, Linger. What wonderful work. 3 or 4 efforts to create that
So you've
turnover.
got to wait for the call still.
Yeah, that's what you love from your small forwards. You see, it's so important in the modern game. Richmond, the best at it in the competition. Pressure, 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 create the turnover, and then you get another opportunity to score on the back of it.
Mum Liz, Dad Anthony watching on here, watching both sons play. Ed Phillips for his first goal in AFL football, playing on his brother, and it wasn't quite where he wanted it. Free kick down the goal line.
So Rowan.
Jeremy, here.
Rowan,
Okay.
right around. He's on the line.
Here.
Holding.
Here.
So, hold on a second. You're on the line, okay?
Ryan Marshall,
Hold on a
the
second.
recipient, the big boy.
We just got to get footy.
Let's have a look at this, Richo. What do you think?
Jack, here, please.
Rowan. Rowan.
Gee, it wasn't much in that.
Lean it on the minute.
Stay out.
Rowan.
I think that's code
Come
Richo for
around.
saying
Oh,
I would have kicked
oh.
1,600 if they had have paid them
Lyndon, stay in line with
when
me.
I was running around.
Stay in line with
That
me.
was very soft, I reckon.
Play on.
1 goal, 6 for the year. Rowan Marshall, left foot bender, and he's clipped the post. So the Saints' goal-kicking disaster continues. 2-5 in this first quarter.
The good thing is they've had 14 inside 50s. They've been able to have 7 shots at goal. They've won the centre clearances. They're getting first juice, and it's a better performance so far tonight.
There's that young man, Loney, and he's reefed into the ground by Langdon and will go holding the footy.
Collingwood.
Geez, you feel for Alan Richardson. He would have driven to the ground today, Richo, thinking, just let us kick 5-1 to start this game. Let us just get that monkey off our back.
And they,
Instead of that, the exact opposite's happened.
and there've been some pretty gettable shots, and they've done a lot right in this first quarter.
They have. They've just got to keep believing. Ball goes wide for Stevenson and misses him. Out of play.
Thanks, Brody. Thanks, Tom.
Speaking of talented young men, love what this young man's bringing to the table, Jaden Stevenson. There is Alan Richardson. Pretty tough to control goal-kicking accuracy from the coach's box. Pendlebury walked into a pile of strife, and that's holding the footy.
Holding the ball, St Kilda.
He's
Come
a
out,
tackling
Taylor.
machine. Jack Steele, the man who got him. Not an easy thing to do. Said Ross. It was pretty well weighted kick, but Langdon's
Nice, guys,
good
thank you.
defender.
Well done.
Good closing speed there from Tom Langdon.
Harrow, here, Harrow. Thanks, Brody. Thanks, Tom.
It's going to be Brodie Grundy. Tom
Glenn.
Hickey set a long way back at this boundary throw, and they get on the move now. And
High contact, St Kilda.
that always disappoints
on.
coaches, a ruck infringement. Tom
Play on.
Hickey started pretty well for
Touch.
mine.
You're on.
Partially smothered ball from Grundy to Lord. Dangerous. Puts it out in the Fasolo direction. Geary,
Play on.
he read that beautiful.
Caulfield. Nice selection of where to
Lyndon
steer
Hall.
the footy to the big man, Marshall.
Mine.
He goes inside 50, and that's all a little too easy.
I didn't call it. I've got to hear it to pay it.
Nunes ends up with it.
They need this one. Go into quarter time in front.
That's your line, Mark's here.
Some
And
confidence.
15
17
seconds now
inside
gone.
50s, and that's because they've had a good
Yeah.
win around the
1 metre
clearances.
forward.
Tom Hickey's got his hands
1
on a
metre
few.
forward. That's it there, yep.
Some visualisation with the closed eyes for Jack Nunes. Another set shot opportunity here for the Saints. He loves it. There we go.
So nice finish from Nunes. That started with some great work from the skipper, Jaron Geary, winning the ball back in the middle of the ground. He's been good, Jaron Geary. His output's up on last year, the skipper. He's leading the way.
The second it hit his boot, he knew that that was going right through the middle. And as we have discussed, that will be a big boost for the Saints. They get the lead back with it. Got a real contest on our hands at Etihad Stadium tonight. Big game for both clubs. Pendlebury, I love watching that. You never get tired of it. De Goey, Ross hit it really well, front and centre, back to the skipper Geary. Time to pick up. Oh, the man he wanted to kick it to fell over. Got up and got it, Jack Steele, and they'll get to centre wing.
Goes looking for Marshalls, just got to bring that ball to ground with the outnumber. Scharenberg has gone backwards. Advantage paid. Mark was taken anyway. 20 seconds left here for the Magpies.
2 minutes ball, Jack.
Can they conjure something up late?
Play on.
It's in the right hands.
Yours.
Pendlebury, long ball in. It gets past everyone but a push.
He's up in the air and you shunted him forward.
Big Mason is going to be the recipient.
Didn't even touch me. You wait his
You'll get that one over review.
Don't mind that. There's about that much split between them.
I tell you what, if you were to kick 1,600 with the last one, Richo, you'd double that.
That was paid for a push in the back. No way known was that a push in the back. Nathan Brownie couldn't believe it.
He's exasperated by that.
Got a bit high-pitched voice on us there, Brownie. So kick after the siren. Saints fans howling their disapproval. Mason normally does this pretty well. And he's missed. So the Saints will take a 2-point lead into quarter time. Saturday night footy at Etihad Stadium.
The Saints leaded by 2 points over the Pies at Etihad Stadium, and younger viewers, you might not recognise this vision here. That is a very young Dean Rice just starting his stuff. 116 games for the Saints, 118 for the Blues, and a premiership for Carlton, if you don't mind. Bailey making his debut tonight. Dean, welcome. How proud are you right now seeing him run around in the Saints jumper? Same number as you.
Oh, very proud. Obviously, a highlight of my footy life, and goes up there with the actual 95 premiership. It's a great experience for him.
You got to present the jumper before the game. Spud Frawley involved, a former teammate. That must have just been a really nice moment for you.
Yeah, it was great. Danny said some really nice words down there, and I presented the jumper to Bailey, and he was pretty calm and cool, which is his personality, which is great.
You tell me he's a pretty relaxed kid, so this wouldn't faze him at all, but making his AFL debut.
Nah, sometimes you actually got to push him to see if he's awake, which is a plus for his game. So
he started well, and the Saints have started well.
Yeah, they're right in the game. So see how we go, and hopefully they have a win for Bailey.
And now you just sit back for the next 3 quarters, just chew your nails and be nervous as hell for him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, just hope he goes well.
Well, enjoy the rest of the night. Thanks heaps for joining us.
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
Great player, Dean Rice, and what a moment to see young Bailey on debut. Doesn't look out of place at all, and we're inside the rooms, which show when Spud Frawley presented the jumper to Bailey Rice. I loved just see every player went over to every member of the Rice family and shook their hand. They're great places, footy clubs.
Yeah, they are.
In that situation.
Yeah, it was a really nice touch, and Bailey's had a couple of touches in that first quarter. And his dad, Dean, what a player, premiership player in '95 with the Blues.
I love the whole father-son story. I reckon you should just one game's enough. It means so much to supporters. Here comes Wells sliding across. There is Bailey Rice.
Now, handball.
Numbers back here. They're just dragging a bit of pressure here, the Saints. Webster able to steer it wide. That's a nice ball.
Oh.
What about the idea, Jim? We've seen the Phillips brothers out there tonight on opposing sides, that the draft's so compromised with academy picks that if you had a brother at a club and a younger brother coming through, you've got to bid on that player, of course, as we see everywhere else.
Yep.
I love that family tradition to be extended to even the brothers, potentially.
Well, I know my brother and his wife would enjoy that, because then they'd only have one ground to go to. Around the body is Nunes, but that's out of play.
That in itself is extraordinary, isn't it? You've got the 3 nephews of yours, one at Melbourne, one at the West Coast Eagles, and one at the Fremantle Football Club.
Thanks, Tom.
I mean, if a club could have access to the whole family, I think it'd be a great story. I'd love it.
Danaher style.
Yep.
This one is into the hands of Dunstan and just hoists it high. Membry's coming. There's Howe. We talked about his aerial expertise. Ross just sees the whole ground, Seb Ross. That's a beautiful touch ball for Jaron Geary. Field kicking nice at the moment. Mav Weller on the end of that.
The skipper's playing really well, Jaron Geary.
Long ball in from Weller. Marking players needed. Marshall flies from the back. Loney's been good. Went to ground, got the handball out. Snap from Nunes. Loves it.
Great snap by Nunes. That's his second goal. I'm liking big Rowan Marshall down there. He's not getting a lot of the footy, but he's just providing a tall target. Didn't get outmarked there. Got it to ground level and let the smaller players go to work. It's his job tonight, Marshall. He's the tall forward. Nice finish here in heavy traffic, Jack Nunes.
They look sharp tonight, the Saints. Good start to this game, searching for their first win since round one. Almost thrown out there by Ross. And Dunstan scooped it out as well, but they're going to go forward. Bailey Rice's kick smothered by Varco. Well played, Varco. Went back and won the footy. Outstanding individual effort to Wells.
Go back.
Who's got some athleticism and some craft. Wells goes short to side bottom.
Hold there, play on.
Now this is Chris from outside 50. Helicopter style kick. Hoskin Elliott. Bailey Rice showed a bit of poise back there and got it to Luke Dunstan.
This is the run from behind they're trying to create. Hunter Clark, look out. All sorts of trouble now. Wells tried to get it in the path of Treloar, did a pretty good job of it. Stephen had hold of him, Main. That's not far enough. Bit of a stiff arm. Got it back to side bottom and then Varco. Varco across the body, that's nice, although Cox spelt it. Wells went and got it. De Goey, a big body. Cox taken in the tackle. He might be in a bit of strife. No, held in. Lucky to get away with it, the big man.
Gee, Luke Dunstan's playing a good game. He's had 11 disposals, a couple of clearances, 6 contested possessions, laid that tackle there. Having a good night, Luke Dunstan.
Grundy trying to flick it in the direction of side bottom. Taylor Evans has got a real issue there.
Hold there.
It's a perfectly executed tackle, that one.
Play right there. Play on. Play on.
Now, Sinclair's got to think his way through this. Now, Ross. Bailey Rice on debut, sends it long and high.
Holding, St.Kilda.
John, with you, Marshall's drawn some free kicks. He's got a bit of presence out there, Matt Weller. Sending it forward, Loney. Kick 2 in the first quarter. That wasn't ideal. Scharenberg
Play on.
had a hand on that.
Yeah, it does. That was Marshall again, just competing down the line, drew the free kick.
Murray, this is what he does well. Streaming out of defence, got it into the hands of side bottom and now Wells. Beautiful left foot around the body ball. Another little mishandle from Hoskin Elliott, but he's got time to get it to De Goey. In the air, just couldn't hang on. Bailey Rice, Sinclair, and then a high ball out of there for Geary to compete in the air. Good hands. Tom Phillips.
Really good hands from Tom Phillips, the older of the Phillips brothers, over the head of his intended target in Adams. Now Dunstan, that kick has to be good, almost hit the runner. Lyndon Dunn back there. Handball a little errant initially, but Chris good enough to go back and get it. Cox pushed out of that one. Now that might be your square up there. The umpire deciding that he's going to let that one go. Webster, that beautiful long kick. Loney, Membry, got to sit and wait for it momentarily. Gresham provides a lead short, but in the end he goes back to Loney. Here he goes short to Matt Weller.
The field kicking's been good, St Kilda, in this game so far. Mav Weller then high inside 50. Marshall again the target. Big fist Howe. Appleby and the boundary.
Right, come through, Harry. Come through. All right,
Well, you'd say maybe in the side. Mason Cox, of course, the recipient of a pushing free just on quarter time. Grundy, clean possession.
Touch ball, play on.
There is Big Mason. Gets eased out of that by Nath Brown, and the athleticism of Varco add to that side bottom. And that kicks out in the full.
Don't see him do that very often, still side bottom. He's only going at 33% tonight with his kicking.
This is Bailey Rice.
Sorry?
You just heard from his
Yes.
premiership-winning father, Dean. This is disposal number 7 for
Play on.
Bailey. Powerfully built young man.
He's had 5 in the second quarter, I know.
Oh, Wells picked the pocket of Savage, got it back to Stevenson. Oh, danced his way through a little bit of trouble. Stood up the tackle well. Phillips to bend it around, and perfectly done. De Goey kicks the goal.
That was a great little kick to De Goey around the corner, but it was Daniel Wells who set that up. With the smother, kept it in the forward line. The Saints should have made an easy exit out of defence. Costly turnover.
He just lurks, Wellesley, doesn't he? With intent.
Yeah. He's not the sort of player you want around either, because he can do that sort of stuff.
The host plus performance player in this first half early on, Jordan De Goey. 2 goals already, set up beautifully there by Daniel Wells. The smother, the touch, and then De Goey just said, thank you very much. Again, playing as that deepest forward. He's just a powerful unit, having a real impact.
He's out of contract at the end of the year, De Goey. Can you believe that? Grundy, inside 50 ball, through the hands of the big man Cox, and look at Varco making a nuisance of himself. Some real forward pressure here from the Magpies. They've got to be clean. Billings handball missed Rice. Out of play. Tell you what, if he stays out of contract come sort of August, September, there's going to be a feeding frenzy on Jordan De Goey.
There'll be plenty of clubs having a look, James, that's for sure.
Nuts.
He's a goal kicker.
Yeah, he's a real talent, isn't he? Now, great chance for Pendlebury. Again, they just sag off him. Such is the skill and the class. Thomas to the goal, square to Goey. Free kick, I think.
Collingwood. Arm around the shoulder.
We'll have another look at that, but this will be his 3rd goal, Jordan De Goey. And he really is staying deep. Here it is, just pushing back, and was paid for over the shoulder, that left arm.
Goal number 3 for Jordan De Goey.
Well, he's stepping up, Jordan De Goey. There's some talented forwards out of this Collingwood side with injury at the moment, and they needed someone to stand up inside forward 50. And you thought coming into this game that it was going to be De Goey. He's got good form. He's kicked a bag of 5 this year. Well on his way to another one tonight. He's got all the attributes.
Setting up.
He just fought really hard for that front position, pushed back hard into Bailey Rice. Draws the free kick. This is a good patch here for Collingwood. They've just upped the pressure on St Kilda.
Through came Mav Weller, went without the footy. Clearance goes the Pies' way. Phillips is taken to ground by his brother.
Fine.
Ball up.
Thank you. Tom, Brody. Play on.
Ball thrown up, and Steele
Play on.
taken. Side bottom walked through, got it back to Pendlebury. Inside 50, end on end. Mason Cox hands to it, unable to take it. Webbs to the ground. Phillips, side bottom. Touch ball, probably a good result for Collingwood, and it's through for a behind.
Will. Thank you.
Had a nice patch in this game, have the Magpies. Well, they have got it on their terms at the moment.
They've got the Saints trapped in. They've had 8 inside 50s this quarter.
Chris over the top. Steele did pretty well, but then initially fumbled, ricochet to Stephen. Phillips got a little touch on the jumper. That's a good kick. Armitage, one-on-one Membry. Will he pull the trigger? It's an awkward-looking kick, sliding, bouncing. And in the end, they had a great chance. Pretty poor kick in the end.
Yeah, they've had 4 inside 50s this quarter, and 2 of them they should have made more of. Just really poor kicks inside 50 when they had some space. They had players who'd made good position. Just that last kick's hurt them a couple of times.
I feel the modern player, Jim, reluctant to kick to that one-on-one. Remember, he's at the back. He's got a genuine one-on-one. Just take the easy kick. Let him do what a forward should do.
And you don't get a lot of one-on-one opportunities now with numbers getting back and the support that the defenders give each other. If you see one, you've just got to kick to it straight away.
Fasolo long to a real outnumber, so this is going to really work for Collingwood. Short to Daniel Wells. Thinks about the handball over the top. Gets it to De Goey. That's number 4.
He's having a night out now. 3rd goal this quarter, Jordan De Goey. How good is it having Daniel Wells in your forward half of your ground? He doesn't waste it. He's created 2 goals, one with his handball there, and the other one where he put that smother on, turned the ball over for Collingwood. He doesn't need a lot of touches, Wells, to have a huge influence on the game.
Just a lack of awareness there by the Saints players. 3 players flying, no one stayed down, and Thomas, Wells and De Goey all said thank you. And Jordan De Goey is well and truly on fire this quarter. 3 goals and 4 goals for the game.
He's kicked 3 this quarter from about 1 metre out.
The last 3 of the game, Jordan De Goey. Saints need to respond here. Treloar fighting hard, managed to squeeze it out in the direction of Murray. Still a footy to be won on the wing here. Dunstan, Tom Phillips, side bottom, Pendlebury. Quick hands, well played to Thomas. He wanted Wells. Savage has got to stand up. Wells managed to get the footy. Got it through to Fasolo. And Grundy, the big man, over the top of it. Oh, Thomas did the full somersault. Fighting hard for Solo. Looks sore out of that.
Yeah, I think he's hurt himself for Solo.
St.Kilda.
And eventually the Saints come up with a free kick. Let's keep an eye on Alex for Solo. I reckon he's rolled his ankle.
Stephen, some hard running. Ball sits for him, he's away. Sells a bit of candy and then sticks it inside 50. That's a nice ball. Nunes, the hot hand for the Saints, having kicked their last 2.
Yeah, well done, Jack Stevens. Some real gut running, but then he had the poise to come inboard. And he could have raffled it there. Nunes and Membry was on the lead as well.
He did the set shot thing well the last time we saw it, Jack Nunes. There's Alex Fasolo just having a bit of a hobble to the line. Lingy will be all over that.
Yeah, it was part of this tackle, JB, as he gets rolled over. His foot, you see, just gets caught underneath there, and straight away he was in a lot of pain.
They need this, the Saints. Nunes has missed it. You right, Rogie?
Can't take a trick for Solo. Back into the team tonight.
Thanks, Jim.
Let's hope it's not too bad.
The inward roll is always the worser of the 2, Richo, isn't it, rather than on the outside. So Lingy will keep us updated on that. Brody Grundy free kick.
He's gone straight down the race, as they always do when it's something like that, to get checked out in the medical rooms that are down underneath here at Etihad Stadium.
It's an awkward ball for Treloar. He managed to find a way to Pendlebury. Always classy. Thomas. Kick down the line. Young Ed Phillips and Webster. Oh, well tackled. Stevenson got him cold. Played on to the youngster from just inside 50. Loads up. And Jaden Stevenson makes it 4 in a row, the Magpies. Oh, what a young player they've got on their hands in this young man. He is very, very exciting. He's kicked a bag of 5 on his own already. In 2018, in his first year, it was a big goal.
He's got some pace about him, hasn't he? Great tackle late there by Stevenson, but the part I love here is how he just quickly played on. If he had gone back and had a set shot, you know, he's kicking that from a further 5 metres out. Just took the game on, played on. Beautiful goal.
Marshall, Grundy, and then down to Gresham, who was unable to find a teammate with a little underground handball. Now Treloar.
Thanks, guys.
Beset upon. Let's have a look at Fasolo.
Okay, boys.
So have a look here at his right leg. Gets pushed in.
And it's Jack Steele falling over it.
Luke Dunstan at his own free kick. Time back on.
So Dunstan, you heard it. Kicks straight into the smothering player in front of him. Numbers still here for the Saints. Savage. Inside 50. Nunes. Well done. He's been the P forward of the footy for the Saints, Jack Nunes. Kicked 2, missed a couple.
Jack.
And now he's being told just to move around.
15 gone.
There's the one-on-one you're talking about, Duke.
Yep.
That's the line.
And they're often good enough if you give them that chance. There's been some one-on-one opportunities. This is a massive kick in the context of their goal-kicking woes. Nunes has been the one. He missed the last shot. Big moment in this game here.
Jack Nunes can see plenty of the goal face. He likes it. Got 3.
Nice finish for Nunes. That's his 3rd. Looking very dangerous inside 50 tonight. They needed that one. Collingwood was starting to get away from them. So that's just keeps them within range now, St Kilda.
One 6 coming into tonight, Jack Nunes. He's had his own issues. He's got 3 tonight. Big goal for the Saints. Good contest here tonight. Saturday night footy at Etihad Stadium.
Holding, Collingwood. Adams.
Magpie free kick to Taylor Adams. Gets it moving quickly. Grundy, look at the work rate from the big man. He was in the centre. That's a great contest. Now they've got to find a way through. Marshall. Oh, Thomas almost got it on his back like a jockey.
Go through, go through.
Jumped up on the big man. And tell you what, Brodie Grundy, from the centre contest to there, that is elite work rate.
Yeah, he had to run about 50, 60 metres then, Das.
Collingwood
Great effort.
Re-enter.
Mine.
Bouncing ball. Bailey Rice has got to stand under it. He does well. And then he's got to find a teammate by hand. He did that too. Caulfield's a good young boy. Takes that nice and cleanly. Wants to take Hoskin Elliott on. That's adventurous, but he does it pretty well. Goes down the line. Billings spills what he should have taken, but he's still in the contest. That's not a great result, though. Straight to crisp. And now done. Through the middle, Wells, dangerous here. He got piled into, will get a free.
Collingwood, Wells.
And you love this guy putting it inside 50, JB.
He's had some really good moments, Richard, hasn't he? Daniel Wells signaling for a lead. Hoskin Elliott's the target. Good hands. He launches so well, doesn't he, off the step? Hoskin Elliott, too good there for the youngster Caulfield.
Yeah, he looks really good on the lead, Hoskin Elliott. That kick from Billings before, he kicked it inboard, and it opened up the whole ground for Collingwood. Let's have another look at this. Good lead. He's really good on the lead, Hoskin Elliott.
He has kicked the goal in every game this year. Only Jesse Hogan has the chance to match that streak when he plays for the D's in the game tomorrow. Almost marked on the line there, Mason Cox, but just through for a minor score.
Talking about Wellesley sticking it inside 50, Richo. Talked to Drew Petrie. He just used to lick his chops.
He would.
As soon as he saw, when North Melbourne days, Daniel Wells with the footy, just magnificent.
Yeah, him and Boomer Harvey.
Yeah, there's a couple there that did it nicely. The ball's out the back. Some real nervous moments here for Appleby. Crisp arrived, though, and did well. He'll get it back here. Having a very good year, this left footer. Goes in search of the former demon in Lyndon Dunn. Out of play, not a bad result. Hasn't he found a nice home at Collingwood?
It's been a good move for Lyndon.
A couple of years ago, you sort of wondered how much more footy he had left in him, but he's playing very nicely. Seb Ross missed with the hands. Brought to ground, side bottom, given a lot of time. Released it to Grundy.
He's had 14 this quarter, still side bottom.
Nath Brown able to go back and pick that one off. They need to be careful here. There's Caulfield in his own defensive area. He's going to take Travi Varco on. Good luck with that. Takes a safe option and gets it into the hands of Bailey Rice.
Well, 1 metre. Back to me, please.
Let's look at the young man on debut. We heard
Daniel.
Father Dean saying he's got a really low pulse rate. Doesn't get rattled by too much. And
play on.
some evidence of that already. Hunter Clark, another of the youngsters for the Saints, streaming from half back. Good hands. Memory out the back. They're out everywhere, the Saints. Got to pull the trigger. Eventually Savage sees it. And he'd been sitting there for an eternity. Gresham runs in and kicks the easiest goal of his career. That's better. St Kilda worked it through the middle. And the little man Gresham kicks his first of the night.
Yeah, 3 goals, 2 from 7 entries. Efficient football going inside 50 in this second quarter, St Kilda. They've kicked the last 2. They needed it. Collingwood had a good little patch and was starting to move away from them a little bit. A good comeback late in this second quarter. A good mark by Membry, and they had good link and follow-up through the middle of the ground, and Gresham found himself out the back. They've got a couple of those tonight, the Saints. A contested mark from Membry, though. None of that happens if he wasn't able to do that. It opened it all up.
What a great result that is when you're having set shot woes. Just Joe the Goose. Just run into the open goal. Perfect. Good game of footy. Another entry here for the Saints, but look at how beautiful. Judges the ball in the air as well as anyone in the game. Wants to stick it wide. Showed a lot of it to Sinclair, who was able to break it up in the air and get it out of play.
Alex Fasolo's just reappeared from up the race there, but just went and sat straight down. The doctor and physio still chatting with him. Looked sore when he walked back up on the bench. I'll watch him for another 3 or 4 minutes and see if he tries to get moving at all, or if they're just going to ice him up and finish him for the night.
Nice work, Lingy, down there. We'll watch that with interest. That was Appleby. Found a way to get it to Tom Phillips, side bottom. Always finds a way. Murray. He's missed a metre handball there, Sam Murray. Goes back and cleans up the mess to Crisp. De Goey. Already got 4 goals. Webster did really well. Get it to the ground to Savage. And now Geary worked it back to Savage. Billings has got to do well here. He's got to beat a couple. Langdon over the top. It's a pretty good result for the Saints.
There's Alex Fasolo limping up out of the rooms. That doesn't look good. That
doesn't look like he's going to be able to play anymore. And we saw the vision of how it happened. And as you mentioned, that internal rolling of the ankle, the syndesmosis, as they call it, it's nasty and is often more sore than the lateral rolling.
Phillips, centre of the ground, Stevenson. Stevenson wide, Appleby has it.
Thanks, Matt.
Measures the ball over the top. Treloar. That kick's not quite going to get to Adams. Beautiful pickup on the half volley. And then inside 50. Oh, Hoskin Elliott almost. Geary now taking the ground. And then we'll have a ball up.
Dangerous overhead, Will Hoskin Elliott, isn't he? For that third tall, Richo, he's got some real aerial strength.
He's got a good leap as well. Long arms.
Ross and Dunstan combined. Good ball from Luke Dunstan.
He's up to 16 now, Dunstan.
Billings' kick wasn't great. Lyndon Dunn had a little fumble. And now Langdon, Pendlebury, Scharenberg, short. Just the required journey to Murray. He looks up. He's got a penetrating left foot kick. Out the back, Taylor Adams with the fly. Or Hickey below the knees. He won't like that. Look at De Goey just wanting a piece of it. And eventually the Saints have got boot to ball, but Brodie Grundy within range, the big man. And so some ferocious Collingwood pressure has resulted in this shot at goal.
It's not a good feeling as a tall player when there's a ball bobbling around your ankles.
Where you are, Jack?
Deep in defence, it's your worst nightmare.
Oh, you feel very nervous.
15 gone.
What a year he's had, this man, Jim.
Duke seemed to enjoy it in commentary too.
Yeah, we've all been there before.
Discomfort.
It's just not what you want. The big man, he's had a great year, Brodie Grundy. That one had right to left all over it, just snuck in for a minor score.
Averaging 22 disposals a game this year, Grundy. That is high productivity for a ruckman.
They're elite numbers in all areas for him this year.
Webster, again, welcomed a bit of pressure here, the Saints, and it might end up costing him. Stevenson, side bottom, that's incorrect disposal. Well done, Jack Billings, to break it up. Now can the Saints slingshot.
Stephen is out the back if they can get it down there.
Clark, that's not his preferred option. That's kicked about 10 rows back.
Back here, 5 metres. 5 metres. That's it with me. Thank you.
So that Appleby getting some instruction from the umpire, and when they've got through that defensive zone, Richo, a couple of times, the Saints have really had men forward to the footy.
Yeah, they did again. Jack Stephen was all on his own. Couldn't get it over.
Look at that from Pendlebury.
9.
He just makes the game look easy, doesn't he?
Just plays the game like very few others do. Here's Hunter Clark now. Oh,
Play on.
almost ran into a knee there, did Jaron Geary. He's okay. Handball was a little errant. Jack still goes back, gets it to Brown, to Sebros. Still to find a way out of defence. That is a long one. Marshall to compete. And they surge it forward here, the Saints. Working hard back. This is Langdon. Dunstan gives chase. Well played, Saints fans. They love it out there on the City side wing. Standing ovation. They've performed pretty well, St Kilda, right in this contest.
Good bit of umpiring there. That's purely accidental high contact, as the ball was the objective of both. Play on.
Play on.
Exactly correct, as Phillips came in, gave it to the man Luke Darcy was just mentioning. He's playing really nice footy. Dunstan. Hunter Clark now high inside 50. Lots of players in the air. Thump down to Jack Billings. Right foot, got it. Saints have hit the front.
Well done, Jack Billings. He's had his issues in front of goals as well. That'll make him feel good. Confidence will be up. The whole St Kilda team should be feeling good about where they're at half-time. They've been able to score tonight. They've been only averaging 64 points a game. They've already got 49. Some good signs.
This is their best opening half for 2018. 48 points. They've had trouble scoring, but tonight, beautiful tape from Billings. Ricocheted right into his chest, and he took it cleanly.
Play on.
Hickey over the top now.
Hi, Collingwood. No, here.
You can hear the Magpie fans
Hold there.
pretty happy to see their skipper win the free kick. Just caresses this one out to Murray. Mason Cox wants it long. Short one on to Thomas. Still too far out to score. Good lead from Stevenson. They're going to go in that direction. Kick wasn't great. Clark worked him off the footy. Ed Phillips.
Yours now.
And now Geary. Under a minute until half-time. Saints have worked it pretty well. Membry back with a flight. Going to take some courage. Good effort. The other way, Howe, and now Scharenberg to the big man Cox.
That's some nice room to move here. Gives it to Pendlebury. Why not? Now outside Crisp. Kicks a bit of a helicopter ball. Well done. Nate Brown did it really well.
That's a good mark. That ball was a real helicopter, as you called it. And that wasn't easy to mark, that one.
Play on. Yours.
And this is stuck wide and sets a real task for Sinclair. Did well. Don't you love the Collingwood fans? They're ahead on the free kick count, 16-9, and they still think they're getting a rough deal.
Never enough, Jim.
It's gold, isn't it? High around the outer side, as that's fisted away and will go out of play. Good game of footy on a Saturday night. As Fasolo goes back down again. Our hopes are with him. He's had such a hard time of it.
So what a contest this is. So much riding on it. Round 9, the Saints desperate for their second win, and the Pies have shown.
This is a winnable game for them. Good luck in the second half.
All right, here we go. Second half action is coming up now.
Thanks to Liz and Anthony Phillips.
Play on.
Tom and Ed have had 11 possessions each in the first half. Here come the Saints via Gresham, and falling over was the defender in Murray, and standing up has been a surprise goal kicker for the Saints, and that's Jack Nunes. Kicked 3 in the first half.
Well, you know you're having a good night when that sort of stuff happens. Struck the ball pretty well, Jack Nunes, on the set shots that he has had.
You got it, Sam?
Yeah, just went to ground. Far too easy then. I don't think he was expecting any contact, Murray.
Played every game, this man, since the start of 2014. Had 1 goal, 6 coming into tonight for his 4th goal of the evening and the perfect start to the second half of the Saints. Jack Newnes just sneaks it home.
Just going to check this.
Umpire's call is a goal. Please check to see if it was touched.
Review underway.
Okay, it's like umpire.
Review complete. Decision on scoreboard.
Bit of a strange one, that one. They checked to see if it was touched. I'm not sure what the goal umpire saw there. It was a mile off being touched. But anyway, had a look at it. And a good start for St Kilda. That's the 4th goal for Jack Newnes.
Never kicked more than 2 in a game before.
He's having a day out, JB. And they needed to find someone who could convert inside 50, and tonight it's been Newnes.
So the pressure sits back on Collingwood. Last 4 of the game now for the Saints. And Newnes the surprise packet with 4. Career best. Stephen out of the middle. Another centre clearance. High ball forward. Brilliant Membry. Down to Loney. Taken in a good tackle. Released it. Howe. Main. Free kick to Collingwood. And now, as you heard, there's advantage for them. Here comes big Mason Cox, and he's just taken under the footy by Brown, who then got interfered with by his own teammate. All the numbers back here, though, wearing St Kilda jumpers. Ball out of play. Good result for Collingwood.
So let's have a look. And that was Scharenberg, who accidentally collected a little bit of the goal umpire there, and I think that explains why the score review, Richo, had a bit of water in the eye.
Collingwood.
And I know you've got a very different view, Richo. I think you think umpire contact's black and white. You make any contact with an umpire, is suspended. That, to me, explains why you have to have a bit of common sense about it, because if that rule applies, then he gets suspended.
That's a good point, Das.
And occasionally you get accidental contact with the umpires, and
On the ball, St Kilda advantage.
good defensive tackle. Here come the Saints. Jimmy Webster pops a little one over the top to Jack Stephen. Now Ross on the non-preferred. It's a pretty good-looking kick. Armitage couldn't quite gather an awkward footy, and back the other way. Here come the Magpies.
So they're getting opened up. Long to De Goey, draws a crowd, and well done, Geary, although the handball wasn't great. Good pick up, Hunter Clark. Off his bootlaces. Now they go looking for Hickey. It's going to get fisted away from him. Dunstan, pretty well done. Nice and clean. Handballs to Webster. Webster on the left. It's thumped out by Scharenberg, who had a play on marking the footy. Decided to go defensively with the fist. And over the line it goes.
Let it go. Jack. Thank you, boys.
A little bit happening there with Jack Loney. Having 2 on board. Brodie Grundy. Hickey. Sinclair. Stephen tried to fire the handball towards Newnes, but Jack Chris played it really well. It's a good kick to Thomas. Sold Tom Phillips into some trouble. Worked a little nice one too with Murray. Now back to Scharenberg. This next kick is the one that is causing some challenge, and Hoskin Elliott did beautifully well to Stevenson. He just needed an extra step and he was away, but when coughed up, Ed Phillips, that's on his non-preferred. He couldn't quite get it to Membry.
Geez, Geary's been good, Richo, across half-back tonight.
He's been good all year, Geary.
Just wonder what Nathan Buckley's asking Rob Harvey there. They're perplexed by something out there, Jim.
A couple of superstars there. What about the playing careers of those two? Robert Harvey, dual Brownlow medalist. Also a Brownlow medalist, Nathan Buckley. That's coughed up. This man's got real talent, Sinclair. A blind turn and has missed.
Saints are pressing here, Richo, in the second half.
Yeah, they are. Collingwood over the last 4 weeks has had nearly 100 points kicked against them each week. It was an area they looked good at for 3 or 4 weeks. They were shutting the opposition down,
come
but
here, 10 metres.
they've been a little bit
Thank
easier to
you.
score
Hold
against
there,
in the
Tom.
last month, and St Kilda, who's had trouble all year scoring, it's been able to kick goals against them, so I reckon that's something Bucks would have been talking to Harvey about.
Turned it over on the wing. They got it back inside 50, but ill-directed. Sharon Berg's been pretty solid down there. Howe, beautiful kick back through the corridor. Now some run from May. This is Appleby. Oh, big courageous effort from Thomas. Did really well.
Thomas.
Fully aware of the contact coming his way and stood up.
Touch ball, play on.
Their skills letting them down a bit at the moment, the Magpies. Bailey Rice, side bottom, well played. The debutant held up, still side bottom, not easy to do. Back in there again to Hunter Clark.
Again, play on.
Murray in good position.
Got about 3 to beat here, Murray.
Play on.
He can't do it. Dunstan's hand's brilliant. Gresham sees the whole field. Got it to Membry, they're out. He's just got to think his way through this, Membry. Runs to 45 and misses.
Hands in the back, Collingwood.
In fact, free kick given away anyway.
I didn't think he did though. Play on.
Jeremy Howe. Perfectly weighted ball to Crisp.
Play on.
Sends this one down the line, and Oscar Elliott, no choice apart from to get a fist on it there from behind.
Even that kick then from Membry had a long time to size the goals up, and he really tried to stab through the ball. Just in his own head a little bit at the moment with his goal kicking.
Almost to pushing it back for Grundy there. Nothing doing from the umpire. Ross round the corner. Langdon read it well, and oh, he's floated that one. That is a horror ball for Phillips. Bounces into the hands of Sinclair. Not his best kick. Nunes, good tackle. Really well done by Howe. And now Tom Phillips from half back. Oh, he's almost had a fresh airy. What's going on out there?
By Mavwella. Footy over.
Jeez.
Plenty at stake.
Some big turnovers from Collingwood in this quarter. Saints haven't made them pay, though. Some horrible kicking out of the back half.
I get the feeling they're just holding on at the moment, the Maggies. They need to find something offensively. Wells had a bit of his jumper pulled, I thought. He'll get back involved in this, Daniel. Lurking Treloar. Adams, well done on the up to Crisp. Here is Daniel Wells. Look out. He sees everyone ahead of him so brilliantly. Got it to Stevenson, and he has kicked a goal.
So that's the goal the Pies needed, and it was in good hands. As soon as Wells had that football at half forward and he had time to deliver, you just knew that he was going to hit the target. Summed it up beautifully, scanned the 50, found the right target, and that was one the Pies needed. The Saints started this third quarter off well and just couldn't convert. A couple of big turnovers from Collingwood.
Nice finish by Jordan Stevenson. A much needed goal for the Pies. You see the Collingwood bench there. Alex Fasolo not there. So just a reminder, in that first half, badly hurt that ankle, got caught underneath the tackle, came off in a lot of pain. He hasn't reappeared, so obviously no good, unfortunately. So I'd say he's completely done for the night.
St Kilda free kick. Thank you, Lingy, for that. Not good news for Alex Fasolo, his first game back since round 21 last year. Gresham's gone the barrel, you don't see that too often. Easy pickings for Lyndon Dunn.
That's maybe why you don't see it.
Yeah.
Mine.
Main.
Thanks, Ed.
Got a feel for Alex Fasolo. All that he's been through, and then he works his way back into the senior team only to last a quarter and a half. I hope it's not a long stint on the sidelines for him.
The footy gods, not nice sometimes, are they?
He doesn't deserve it. Good man, Mason Cox. Over the top, look at side bottom, go to work here. Stevenson again, good turn of pace. He was run down brilliantly from behind by Webster.
Play on.
Now Jimmy Webster again, brilliant effort. And he's followed up the short one to Billings.
Play on, 15.
In a confined situation, they've been able to work their way through this. Kick to Caulfield, Crisp. dispossessed him nicely. Opportunity for Thomas, turns, fires, and goals. Couple in a row, the Magpies, and they get the lead back with a brilliant individual effort from Josh Thomas.
Good game. That's what we've got here.
Sure have.
Collingwood desperate to bag these 4 points. And the Saints, well, we know where they're at.
So I reckon the Saints players were appealing for a free kick there for in the back. They didn't get it. Thomas, a nice goal from him. The last 2 for Collingwood.
Good response after 4 against. Dunstan and Treloar. Now Grundy.
Yours.
End on end ball. Brown's got work to do. Look at Hoskin Elliott to Wells. Here comes another one.
Daniel Wells kicks the easiest of goals. That was just a shank out of the middle from Grundy. Sometimes those chaos balls that are floating around everywhere in the air, they're not bad entries sometimes. You can get it to ground and cause a bit of havoc. The centre clearance here. Grundy just smacks it forward. You get a contest. And the Saints fans, they thought that should have been holding the ball against Hoskin Elliott. You get a hand to it, need another look at it.
That's a massive difference to this side, Daniel Wells, doesn't he? They look so much more dangerous. And
Thanks, fella.
see, when the footy's in his area, you just feel like something positive is going to happen for the Collingwood Footy Club.
Well, it's ball in hand, 4 to centre, isn't it? When you get it in the hands of blokes that good at using it, the difference is extraordinary.
He only needs a dozen to 15 disposals, and you know that goals are going to come from them.
Only played 12
straight away.
of 31 games
That's
available
enough.
to
Let's
him.
just keep playing the footy. It's good.
Umpire getting
you.
involved there,
Coming
making
up.
sure the players are all good. So 12 of the 31 games that Daniel Wells could have played, but you just love him to have a
Fine,
free
man,
run
Kyle.
at it. He's such a talent, as we've seen.
He's had 6 score involvements. That's the second on the ground, so
Murray's kick straight to
Giant
Savage.
hole.
Physical resilience has never been Wellesley's strong suit, but when he plays, he is as good as there is. Releasing kick backward of centre, and now long ball. It's a good ball for Ed Phillips. So suddenly it's St Kilda's turn to respond. 3 in a row, Maggies.
Move it on. Play on. Play on. You.
Phillips has got to pound it down the line. Marshall's got to come across and provide something. Well done, Dunstan. Ball out the back. Marshall goes running forward and judged that nicely.
Taylor Hall. Play on.
Play on's the call. Oh no, he's hacked it. Hacked it to a real dangerous spot too. Hoskin Elliott, if it sits, is away. Wells in front of the footy. And that's a beautifully presented ball. Thomas is out. Wells goes in that direction. De Goey's going to have a look at this as well. Hands to it. Jordan De Goey's got it. And will take a ping at his 5th.
did he hold it? And look, he had 2 grabs at it. The Saints boys aren't happy. Daniel Wells again involved. This kick here,
That's the line.
you just cannot turn it
Straight
over
there.
there.
And Richo, as soon as that kick turned over, Jordan De Goey had run off the bench.
Yeah, I did.
And he ran straight to the goal square as hard as he could to take that mark.
For number 5, there it is. What a body of work this young man's putting together.
It's his second bag of 5 this year, Jordan De Goey. Turning into a really, really good forward. It's been a good move to have him as the deepest forward. Can play mid. He's 191 centimetres. And just looks super dangerous inside 50, as does Daniel Wells, who's been involved in 3 goals this quarter. 3 of the last 4 Wells has been involved in.
Geez, you can't coach skill errors, can you? And that man on screen They're doing so much right, St Kilda, but then a horrible turnover.
That was interesting, though, JB. Alan Richardson took him down into the rooms underneath to go and probably deliver a hard word rather than doing it in public out on the bench.
Stephen's kick has been fisted away by Appleby. Yes, it's not a good sign when the coach says, let's go for a walk down the race.
That happened to you any time, Dave?
It should have happened a couple of times. And look at the young man there, Big Rowan Marshall. He would be feeling like a hole to jump in, Richo. It's a brutal game at times.
He's competed hard too tonight, Marshall.
Yeah, I've liked the way he's played. Adams to Langdon to Grundy. Oh, been chopped off. Well played. The other way, and that's a good tackle. Stephen thought he got the handball away, but Taylor Adams effected a pretty good tackle.
So Jordan De Goey, that's his second 5 this year. Only 2 other players have had 2 lots of 5 goals this year, Ben Brown and Dustin Martin. So not easy to do.
Good company.
Some good company there. Ben Brown's done it more than twice.
5 1/4 today, Ben Brown.
Yes.
Tom Phillips, long ball down the line, a good one too to Hoskin Elliott.
Move it on.
And Hoskin Elliott goes to Appleby with a squaring ball, and he'll do the same to Howe. Langdon now.
Play on yours. Yes.
St Kilda have defended the ground pretty well, so they just have to go short to Crisp.
Play on.
And Crisp wants to take the man on the mark on, and it was guarded pretty well by Steele. Now a high ball forward, slapped into the corridor. St Kilda here in number. Billings' hands were good. Phillips steps through. Back to Jack Billings. Now big Tommy Hickey, look out. Billings comes charging through and runs into a wall of Magpies.
Stevenson picks it up, dumps it down the line. Grundy will be too strong here. The mismatch with the debutant, Bailey Rice.
Quick little handball to Wells. That would have been nice.
Squaring runs okay to Pendlebury. Got into his move early. And look at that. Look at the brilliance of that. Magpies have got 4 in a row. Varco a chance to make it 5. And Pendlebury with all of the class in the world.
Yep, I didn't think so, either. That's the line. Mark's here. 15 gone. Thank you.
Trev Varco, time to draw a breath.
5 to go.
So for 5 in a row, Varco started right. And it stayed there.
Can't help but think earlier on this quarter when the Saints were really pressing, they forced turnovers, they didn't make it count a couple of times, and Collingwood have seized their chances down the other end. That might come back to haunt the Saints.
Geary's long ball to a big pack of players. Cox controlled it nicely. Side bottom, a thumping handball. Back to Murray, to Pendlebury. Langdon in the middle, his handball. Comes back to Howe. Howe slices his way through, but the kick's not great. Sinclair cleverly steps around a couple and then lowers the eyes to Stephen.
50.
Against Tom Phillips.
Against Tom Phillips, you heard the umpire's call. And look at Nathan Buckley. At the other end, Trev Varco, as you said, Richo. That was going to put it into territory that was
Tom Phillips on the side.
a long way home. And now, big opportunity for Jack Stephen.
And they need one against the Tide. Pies have had a good 10 minutes. If ever they wanted to kick one, it's now. Have to kick this one.
3-time best and fairest winner for St Kilda. This is his 163rd game of AFL football. And if he kicks it through, it'll be his 100th goal in AFL football. Bending, leaning, no. Oh, I just can't get that part of the game right, St Kilda. 8 goals, 9, and a little awkward ball drop. It looked like Richard.
Just drifted off to the right.
4-6 from set shots tonight, St Kilda. They cannot get that bit right. Cox floating across. I think Hickey's taken the mark. Well done.
Hold there.
Handball off to Caulfield. Caulfield with a real floaty ball inside 50. Huge pack of players around it. Pendlebury, one of them, Mav Weller's taken hard out of it. Appleby is smacked into, and we'll have a ball up.
Thanks, boys. Thanks.
Flynn Appleby, just 19 years of age. You don't get tackled like that in the underage comp, Big Richo. He got pounded into. Numbers back here. Look at Steele side bottom slice through traffic. Good control ball to Phillips. Now the very, very dangerous De Goey gets out the back and wants to go and does go in search of Wells. Really dangerous player. Geary has played brilliantly tonight. And that again is a very well-controlled situation by the skipper.
Yeah, did really well there, Jaron Geary. This handball, though, just hung a little bit. Armitage hasn't been his night tonight. Dispossessed. Here's Pendlebury. Flicked it off to side bottom. Left foot chipper. De Goey, he's got 5. Searching for 6. Did well, trapped the footy, got back, picked it up to Phillips. Tom Phillips bends it around. 5 goals in a row to Collingwood.
What about the celebration?
Yeah, what was that all about? There's his mum and dad. Top, well done to Goey, though. His second effort after the marking contest. Got after it at ground level, dished it off. Big night, Jordan De Goey. Jack Stephen missed down the other end, hurts now. Great effort by Jordan De Goey. He was involved in the marking contest, was first back onto it. Nice snap. The little celebration.
What do you make of that, Jim?
I'm not sure what
they go very weird with it, the millennials. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe he thinks they've put the Saints to sleep. As we've got a locked up ball inside 50. There'll be a reason. We just won't be aware of it. Holding the ball for the Saints.
It's a big call if you're saying good night, St.Kilda. It's a good bit of swagger.
With another 4 minutes left as the handball comes to Savage from downtown. That's good. I reckon the umpire will want to have a look at it, but with the naked eye, it looked pretty good.
What do you say, mate? I believe it's a behind. You just check it's touched on the line.
Behind the call.
Score review. Umpire's call is a behind. Can you just confirm that it was touched beforehand?
That's a goal. Yep.
Review on the way. Thank you.
Should be a pretty quick review. That's clearly behind the line.
See, I'm intrigued by these ones because anyone that works in the film industry will tell you that camera angles are deceiving. That looks 100% as though it's been touched over the line, but
review complete. Decision on scoreboard.
This will be interesting for mine.
Here we go.
I don't think you can ever overturn these ones. They will, though.
Good goal, Shane Savage. A smart handball off. Jack Stephen knew he wasn't probably going to get the distance. Savage is a big kick. And a great finish. So they're hanging in there, the Saints.
Breaks a run of 5 in a row. You see Alan Richardson down now talking to his boys. Spent a lot of last week's game doing the same thing in Perth. Grundy high, beautiful ruck work, ended up in the hands of the dangerous side bottom. Handball to Appleby. Appleby goes in search of Main, who draws a crowd and gets a free.
Thank you.
Free kick to Main. Really important 4.5 minutes coming up to the three-quarter time. That was a superb pass. Look to Goey. He's moved off his line. 5 goals already on the night. Mason Cox looming large, the big man. Almost fell in his lap. Stevenson down there as well. Gresham. Nath Brown popped it in the air. Sold Matt Weller into all sorts of trouble. Side bottom. Nath Brown got it back. Ed Phillips. All Collingwood back here.
Saints had 17 players in Collingwood's forward 50. That's why they had nothing.
Lyndon Dunn with a couple of bounces. Look at the veteran, and then a stiff arm. Centering ball to Big Mace, just couldn't hang on. And is that below the knee contact? I reckon it is. Gresham, the recipient of a free kick. What about Lyndon Dunn winding the clock back? Back to Rice. Thought he was Phil Manasseh there for a second.
Will hold.
Ball still tucked deep inside the defensive area here for the Saints. Savage goes down the line and Langdon fists it away. Do they keep it in? No.
Notice tonight the Magpies are wearing the black armbands, and that is for Russell Jessup, who played for Collingwood in the 70s, and Tony Beers, who played in the 80s. Tony Beers, the son of the 1958 Premiership star Brian Beers, and both passed away this week. So we think of two of Collingwood's former players tonight. Always great respect from the footy clubs and to both their families. In the meantime, the Pies have got a big game to win, and they've got their nose in front at the moment as we close in on three-quarter time. This is Chris Main, who goes short.
Hold, Shane. Play on!
So that run of Lyndon Dunn there before, JB. I wonder what the most bounces in a row is in one run.
Well, Phil Manasseh, that famous grand final.
Play on! Play
I
on!
reckon the little champ Boomer Harvey would have a few close runs at it.
I reckon Michael Mitchell kicked goal of the year up at the SCG one year and he had 7 bounces.
Langdon goes short.
Okay.
And this is Taylor Adams, cuts back inboard, finds Treloar.
Hold, Mav.
Adam Treloar now on the wing. Just a couple of minutes left.
Hold.
Saints would absolutely love it if they could get to three-quarter time with another one on the board and narrow this right down. And because of that, the Magpies are now just controlling the tempo a bit. Short ball is good to Howe. Howe. De Goey in good shape. Just couldn't hang on to it.
Spoiled each other then, Grundy and De Goey.
Stephen, wide ball, crisp underneath the footy. Nunes went and got it. And that is holding the ball.
Right on the boundary lines. All right, Rog, right on the boundary line, Rog.
Jeremy Howe,
Thanks, Cedar.
game 150.
It's all right. Play on. Yours.
Long high ball, Grundy at the back, set himself. Nath Brown, premiership player of the Magpies, working hard. Thomas, little handball out was good to the captain, and Pendlebury unloads and goals. He's had an enormous night, Scotty Pendlebury. 25th disposal. 22nd disposal, his first goal, but everything, as always, has just been incredibly positive for his teammates. And a big goal at a big time.
Terrific goal by the skipper, Scotty Pendlebury. Now, we've done a little bit of research about Tom Phillips' reaction there. I know you guys asked the question. We think maybe it's to do with last week's effort where he kicked a goal having a little nap on the MCG when he was knocked out after that tackle. We think it's to do with that.
Yeah, I think you might be right, Lingy.
Bit of my detective work there, boys.
Nicely done. Gresham running in the wrong direction. Hunter Clark now. This is an important disposal. Goes back to Savage. They've got time here, the Saints, if they can manufacture something. Caulfield. Here we go. Hunter Clark, the young star, has a look and misses everything.
Hold there, please. Hold there. On this side.
Once again, that was just a beautiful build-up from St.Kilda. Could not have played that any better through the middle of the ground. And then one of your talented youngsters kicks it out of bounds on the full. It's just an epidemic for the Saints at the moment. Treloar fighting hard. Sinclair. Loney kicked the cup in the first quarter. Had it taken straight up his boot by side bottom to Grundy. To Tom Phillips. One-on-one with Big Mason. Bent down and picked it up nicely to Thomas. Out wide, Hoskin Elliott going back to Goey. dangerous in the one-on-one. Jordan De Goey. He's going to play on. He's going to get around Geary. And he's going to kick his 6th goal, Jordan De Goey. You bet he will. On the three-quarter time siren. And is he having a night out, Richo, man?
I think they need to get his name on a contract, us, pretty quickly.
Career high, 6 goals, Jordan De Goey. 28 three-quarter time lead to the Magpies. That is the disappointing story. That's for Solo. You can see in the moon boot. We'll come back at three-quarter time with a 28-point lead to the Magpies.
You just got to sign them up. Very hard to find.
Good size too. He's in 191 centimetres, 91 kilos listed at. Can play midfield, and seen him tonight. The one-on-ones forward. He has been outstanding.
He's missed the 4 games early in the year. The club imposed suspension, but he's now level leading goal kicker with Hoskin Elliott at the club.
A lot for the Saints to play for here. They really need to show some fight. This is a good start. Jack Stephen bursts out of the centre.
Holding, Collingwood.
And he's given away the free kick.
Howe.
Jeremy Howe is going to receive that free kick.
Play on. You.
Steers it to the outer side to a 2-on-2. Savage, Hickey off the ground. Savage running onto the footy, just couldn't get a handle. Scott Pendlebury was born with a handle. He never fumbles. Great front and centre, Varco. After Mason Cox crashed a pack. Handball off to Hoskin Elliott. De Goey ahead of him. Sticks it down his throat. How well does he present up to the ball?
And I just love where Collingwood have positioned him tonight. There's some sore boys there. Gee, let's have a look at this clash.
Jordan, that's the line.
That's a big corky for Nathan Brown, and he's hurt his knee as well. But De Goey, Buckley has positioned him as the deepest forward, and he's really held back tonight. Move.
Number 7 to Jordan De Goey. He stuck that across the face, and Hoskin Elliott's taken a nice grab.
Will.
He looked to centre the ball. He's still got side bottom on if he wants to go there. He doesn't.
Will, that's your line. Stay there. Stay there.
He's going to run around and bring back the banana.
Stay there. Play on.
Hoskin Elliott. That was always narrow.
All clear, Sam.
Saints got a couple of players coming off the ground down there, Lingy. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Hunter Clark and Nathan Brown both heading to the bench. See that collision there. Big knocks from both of them. They'll get checked out on the bench.
Head to the back. St.Kilda. Head to the back.
Free kick going the way of
Play on.
Big Tom Hickey, as we see. Oh, no. Horrible turnover. Will Hoskin Elliott. De Goey wants the 7th. Hoskin Elliott misses again.
All clear, Sam.
Oh, wow.
He wanted to rush that, Hoskin Elliott. Here's the turnover. That's as bad as it gets. No one on the mark. He thought, I'll whack that through. Just needed to take his time.
Caulfield.
Thanks, Will.
Das. The big boys don't go sideways. Just keep it nice and simple.
Down the line, I reckon.
Down the line, the option, if you're over sort of 6'10".
Probably not within Tom Hickey's requirement. I wouldn't have thought that kick across goal. We saw big Ryan Marshall get ushered down the race for a spray from Alan Richardson for a similar sort of kick from a big man.
We go to you in this commentary box when those sort of incidents happen.
With a little bit of amusement, Jim, I'm detecting in your...
Just a touch as Stevens away. Love the way this bloke plays his footy. Couple of bounces and then a squaring ball to Membry. Well done, Jack Stephen.
Gee, that's a good kick. Membry didn't even have to lead. Often the really good kicks draw the leader into the ball, and that's what Stephen did then. He identified the space, put it there, and Membry just turned back into it. That was a great kick.
So Tim Membry.
Let's see if he's learnt, James. Those 2 set shots earlier in the game both went right.
5-11 set shots this year for Tim Membry. The sense this has got to go through for St Kilda to be any chance. A trail by 30 points. Membry, that looks better off the boot. No, he's pulled it left. And it just squeaks home for a behind.
It's another average-looking ball drop for Tim Memory, isn't it? It's just floating onto his boot.
Wow. Yours.
And to not even make the journey from there is...
It's not making good contact, is it?
At all. Seb Ross, Varco, really hard to break through his tackles. Here's Sinclair, just sweating on the tackle. And a pretty good effort there from Nunes. Waited for Langdon to take possession and then held it up inside forward 50.
Thanks, Jack. Brody. Tom.
Ball up. Down to Adams, misses with the handball. Loney can be dangerous here. Ball just didn't sit for him. Back to Dunn. Dunn's kick smothered. Side bottom with work to do. Adams down behind play.
Yeah, David Armitage got him with the hip and shoulder. We'll have a look at that replay in a second. It was a big hit.
Savage.
Yours.
Thanks, Linger. Long ball forward. Oh, Mav Weller, but the back, Scharenberg. Nice pair of hands as we see Taylor Adams in a bit of trouble.
Yours.
Behind the ball. How lovely presentation out to Stevenson.
Yours.
Really nice addition to this side. Jaden Stevenson's been in his first year.
Hold, Bailey.
Hoskin Elliott leads up.
I'm here now, Rog.
So Taylor Adams making his way off the ground. Get your replay of that hit very shortly. As Hoskin Elliott down the line.
Play on.
The big boy Mason Cox out the back. Opportunity now for the hard-working Stevenson. Pushed down, and look at the speed. Geary got a little piece of the jumper. Free kick. That's the Phillips brothers.
Yes.
Stand up, please.
Older.
Hold there.
Just collecting the younger one a little high.
Hold. Move it on. Play on.
Got to hit the scoreboard, the Saints.
Yours.
Quickly. Try and get Collingwood uncomfortable. That's a turned over handball. Membry, Armitage just couldn't control the hot footy. And it goes out of play.
Ready.
There's Nathan Brown down in the race. What about that for a set of quads? It's like a weightlifter.
Thanks, boys, again.
I reckon he got a corky in that clash. Here's the hip and shoulder here. Dave Armitage just didn't see. Adams didn't see Armitage.
Play on.
Away here, St Kilda. Sinclair. Handball, steal. Didn't want to pull the trigger. Eventually just high to the top of the square, hoping that someone can get on the end of it. Comes back in Sinclair. But the defenders have arrived for Collingwood. Appleby went to ground, and it's going to be a ball up.
Rux. Brody.
It was an errant
St Kilda.
boot that got thrown out there by Nunes.
You've got to be careful when you do that. It's often a reflex type action.
Play on's the call. And
Touch,
now
play on.
Howe ricocheted off some Kilda hands, trying to keep it in. Here's the little man Gresham.
Go through.
Couldn't quite manage to do that, but really critical time now for the Saints.
Thanks,
Have
Brody.
to kick the next goal in this
Kilda,
game.
Tom.
No doubt about it. Let's have a look at the Armitage hit and shoulder on Taylor Adams. What do you think of that, Richo?
It's got to be
Play on.
within
play on.
5 metres. I think it's fine.
Savage handballed it straight to Phillips. Treloar's away. Varco, side bottom. Treloar and Varco. Stevenson's out. Look at the wheels on this man. Webster's come off to defend really well. He needs some help. Thomas. Handball to side bottom. Savage has got him. Back to Thomas. Crisp now to Pendlebury. Centre of Etihad, he runs an arc. Right foot ball inside 50. Oh, Treloar wasn't clean.
Still, mate.
Now the Saints through Seb Ross.
Going to flick a little handball over to Savage. It's an awkward one for him to deal with. Sinclair. Mabwella. Gresham, space, not much ahead. Gonna have to cut back inboard. Quiet night for this man, Armitage.
Holding the ball, Collingwood.
Yeah, he's really struggled tonight, David Armitage. Just hasn't been able to impact the contest, and now Phillips has the dangerous side bottom out on his own. Happy to just take some time.
And he goes short to Treloar.
Oh, Joe. Play on. Play on.
And that's a nice ball from Treloar. And it's now in the hands of Steele side bottom inside 50 to go. Why wouldn't you go there with 6?
Play on. Still
Taken
line.
to ground.
Yours. Yes.
Savage goes across the face.
Hold. Yours.
A lot of this happening in their back half, St Kilda. They've actually got to get it into their forward half and score. Try and get some scoreboard pressure on the Maggies.
Worked really hard, that man on screen there, Jack Loney. Pushed with everything he had, just couldn't quite come up with the play.
Play on.
Chris Main.
Play on.
Dunstan
Play on.
wearing
They got a kick.
the famous Lenny Hayes number 7. Billings. That's a real shank to Armitage, who, as you said earlier, just the 6 disposals.
What a great story this is. One of the great broadcasters in the history of our caper, Rex Hunt, calling his last game for 3AW, and the equally great Sam Newman behind him, Robert Walls. The old 3AW team, Richo.
Yes, what a great night that is. Great to have Sam and Rex back.
Yep.
Reckon Foss put a bit of homework into this one, James?
Limited. Doesn't see a lot of the modern game, the great Sam Newman, but what entertainers those men have been. Membry over the top, that's nice. Armitage 48 from home.
Rexy's called over 2,000 games of VFL, AFL football.
Called to go, Armitage, and he does, and then he misses. Yeah, it's a phenomenal body of work for that man, and not only is he called brilliantly, but he's called with great flair and entertainment and brought people great enjoyment through his craft.
And that's his last ever game in the commentary box for the great Rex Hunt. Well done to Rexy. Inspired a lot of others, as Jim pointed out, to bring some entertainment to the game we all love. Marshall.
Premiership player as well, Rex, done it all.
Through the hands of Savage, picked up, beautifully done side bottom. Look at the class and the skill to Pendlebury, equally as classy as Crisp. They link up by hands. They do this more than any other side, the Magpies. Pendlebury. And a rare missed target's been turned over. Dunstan, horrible looking kick again. They just can't capitalise on their opportunities. And Langdon will steady to Grundy. Well done, Hickey. Played it well, the big man. Stephen trying to craft his way through, goes backward and found Savage.
2 metres at him. Thank you.
Too far out, you sense. Saying Savage, so he just sits it in the hole, and Hickey falls over. At the back,
holding the ball.
Dunstan is pinged, holding the footing. Just their composure, ball in hand, forward to centre, Richo, is the area that they really battle with St Kilda.
It's probably the difference in this game tonight. Collingwood have kicked at 70% and the Saints at 60. They've had just as many. They've been good around the contest. They've had the ball as much. They've put it inside 50. It's just that last kick at times and the shots on goal.
It's the most important kick in footy, that one, as Caulfield's got work to do. Back to Webster. Webster to Seb Ross. And Ross goes high and wide. Mavwella ran onto it, but spilt the mark. Back to Webster. Now you can do whatever you like backward of the centre, but once you get forward, it's this next kick that sets everything up. Jack Billings. He just can't advance. He does now. Long ball to a pack of players. Howe elevates in a big defensive fist.
I like this from Rowan Marshall, and he did get the free kick for the push in the back there. He just straight away took the corridor option there in the third quarter. He was taken down the race by Alan Richardson and would have been given a fair cook for turning the ball over with that type of kick. So I like his character. He's prepared to back his leg again. Others wouldn't in that situation.
Yeah, well picked up, Lingy. I thought the message might have been never, ever attempted again, but I'll go with your thoughts.
I don't know if I'd been given a cook by the coach, I would have put it away for a month or so, but good to see him bring it out straight away.
Well, Matt Weller came through and got a big piece of a Collingwood defender. Phillips is up and running, he'll be okay. They get it to Cox. Here they are again, Rowan Marshall. Pendlebury on hands and knees.
Play on.
Billings to Sinclair.
Still, mate.
Sinclair goes to Loney. Loney misses with the handball. The debutant Bailey Rice, have you seen his game, Richo?
Yeah, I reckon he's been pretty good. 15 touches. He's kicked the ball pretty well.
His armour has had a battle on his hands tonight. Wells to Howe. Main. Scharenberg. That's going to go out in the full.
Start behind the line, Bailey. Start behind the line.
Let's have a look at this replay of the hit on Tom Phillips. Good news for Matt Weller is that he was immediately back up to his feet, but any time there's contact to the head, you have to think that that will be looked at. Seb Ross at half-back, accumulating a lot of the footy as he always does. Disposal number 26. To Matt Weller.
Play on.
Just haven't been able to creatively apply enough pressure through this part of the ground. Membry competes at the back, side bottom, and they are dealing pretty easily with the footy that's coming in at the moment, the Collingwood defence.
Jeremy Howe goes a long way back.
Oh, thank you.
And finds the former Demon, and in fact his former teammate Lyndon Dunn. There he is, Howe. We knew he'd produce one, Richo.
Yes.
It mightn't be his career best, but it was still a pretty good one.
What's happened there? A bit of cramp, did he?
Time back on.
That's just stock standard for Jeremy.
Yep.
Move it on.
Just a little ankle roll, was it?
Or hyperextended the knee, maybe, Jim. Actually landed really awkwardly.
Yeah, and he saw, after he kicked that, he's limped off and the docks are getting straight to him. Probably bring him off the ground to be the best idea. So important to this Pies team.
When he finishes his career and he gets the little highlights DVD, it's going to be a good one, isn't it?
Go for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Appleby out wide.
He just got given the thumbs up there to the bench, so Jeremy Howe's going to stay out in the ground.
Stamp it out. That's what the old coaches used to say.
That's right.
Couple of laps. Stamp it out.
Back 2 metres.
It is actually one of his gifts, Jeremy Howe, is that he normally lands really well for someone who gets up higher than anyone in the game. That's not a great ball inside 50, and there's Howe, and they've been able to deal with it with a lot of comfort, the Collingwood defence tonight.
He's had another good night, Jeremy Howe.
Righty and Tim. Okay.
Been a really consistent player, Jeremy Howe. Rarely misses a game. Really found a home at half-back.
Touch.
Kick from Steele off
Take it.
hands, and we'll have a boundary throw-in. There he is, Jeremy Howe. I think missed 4 games in his 7-season career, Jeremy Howe. 150th game tonight. Really consistent performer.
Membry and Grundy go at it. Scharenberg's hands were good. Langdon to Crisp, who went to ground. They land on top of him. Ball up. Where to from here for the Saints, Richo? First win came in round 1. Haven't won a game since then. Drawn one, of course.
Got a tough draw too. The next 3 or 4 weeks aren't easy for them. Look, they've been better tonight. They've been right in the contest. It's just that bit of polish that they've lacked. That last kick, as we talked about before.
Ready up.
And they've done it tonight without probably nearly their 2 best players for the season. Akers has been a good player this year, and Jake Carlisle as well. So
Still, mate. Still, mate. Still, mate.
Langdon to Howe. High floating ball. Oh, good effort from Ed Richards. That Ed Phillips, I should say, back with the flight. What a good sign that is for a second gamer. As we have a look at Jordan De Goey, Lingy.
Well, the host plus performance player. Who else was it going to be other than that man, Jordan De Goey? Only 12 disposals, but 6 goals. Has been brilliant tonight as the deepest forward, marking the ball, winning the ball at ground level. Has been absolutely sensational. Pick 5 in the draft and just building in towards his absolute best footy.
St. Kevin's boy, of course. APS. Played very nicely in the last month. This ball's going a long way forward and then gets through a couple of sets of hands. What can Memory do? Backward to the ball. Unable to control it. Howe sees it over.
Thanks, Tim.
Produced some decent footballers over the trip, St. Kevin's. A couple of twins who played 3 premierships for the Brisbane Lions, or 2 each.
Chris and Brad Scott. Stephen Powell, an old teammate of mine, and Simon Garlick, St. Kevin's prodigies. This one will be accounted for with a double fist. That was Pendlebury going back with the flight.
We can't hear.
So 5 minutes remaining in this game. It'll be the 5th win of 2018 for the Magpies. And
thank you.
they'll feel pretty comfortable about tonight. I think there's a lot to like about what they're building, the Magpies. They've got some real talent.
Back 2, thank you.
To come back into this side as well. Starting to establish a style of play that Nathan Buckley's been working towards for a while, Jim.
A good response too, Richo. After a poor week last week against Geelong, they really didn't have a good day. This is exactly what you want from your team, is to come out the next week and really respond hard, and they have. And the important win if they're going to hang on to the bottom half of the 8 as we approach the halfway point of the season. Ball comes out to Langdon. Murray back to Langdon.
Thanks, Jack.
And Langdon goes down the line and finds Grundy.
Tom, hold.
And Grundy can just control things from the back half. Goes in search of Big Mason, gets taken out of it by Rowan Marshall. And he goes with a nicely measured ball to Nunes, who's kicked 4. Over the top to the skipper, Geary. He was run down. Look at the pickup from the big man, Grundy. Off the shoelaces.
And the follow-up, he's still going.
Varco in between a couple of Saints, off hands. A little clever knock on there from Dunstan.
I like to look at the forward line tonight. It's had plenty of vibrancy, the Collingwood forward line. Varco, Wells has been down there, De Goey, Thomas, Hoskin, Elliott. They're all good movers, all really mobile. It's a hybrid-looking forward line tonight. It's worked well.
Billings got a little one to Savage, and again, that kick inside the forward 50 tonight has just been really hard work for the Saints. They've lacked some classes.
They've had the same number of inside 50s as Collingwood does, so that just highlights what you're talking about. No connection between the midfield and that forward line for St Kilda. It's the area they're going to have to fix up in a hurry if they're going to start getting wins on the board.
Good hands, Hoskin, Elliott. Wells over the top. Thomas in front of the footy. Inside 50, look at Trevi Varco. This is not what you want with this man. Oh, look at the touch. Back to De Goey. Stevenson, the dribbler, misses. So, Lingy, what chance that that'll come up in review Monday morning for the Saints?
Guaranteed, absolutely. They'll review it and they'll train it again, but at some point in time, it's got to come out in the game. You can train it all you like, and you aim to improve it bit by bit each week, but that midfield and that forward line have got to start connecting together. Got to finish your work when you got some momentum in AFL footy, or you just get killed the other way.
Shape for the barrel there. Full back kick in initially, and then decided that a long one to Marshall was the option.
Very unselfish, Jordan De Goey there. When you're eyeing off a 7 for Richo. Handballing off, are you?
I would have kicked that. You don't give those off.
There is Jack Stevens, still working as hard as ever. Bailey Rice on debut has shown enough to say that he's going to be a really good player for the Saints, but just hasn't been their night tonight. They were really good early and outplayed pretty comprehensively, I have to say, in the second half, Richo.
Yeah, from about the 10-minute mark of that third quarter, the Pies put the foot down. St Kilda had their chances early in the third quarter. They didn't take them. They caused some big turnovers from the Pies. They couldn't take advantage of it, and then Collingwood kicked the next 5 goals, and that was it.
Nicely done, Gresham. Got some upside in this young man.
Jade, it's your line. Mark's here.
Steele that sort of hacked it forward.
15 seconds.
Gresham's focus on the footy was really good.
Yep, that's fine.
Nice, clean pair of hands too. Just played the 49 games after tonight. So it's around 50 that you start to get consistency into your footy on a lot of occasions. Jade Gresham has kicked a goal.
And bizarrely, James, that is the first goal of this last quarter. I was looking at my book thinking I'd maybe missed something.
Yep.
So there's Rexy, the final minute of his broadcasting career, and what a career it's been. Gives us a thumbs up, Rexy. Good on you, Rex. And I think Lingy's going to pop up and have a word to him after the game, so we look forward to that, Dus.
I am Richo. That's tonight celebrating 50 years in footy for Rex Hunt. Debuted in 1968.
Been one of the great characters in our game as Rex Huntley. Looking forward to that chat. And
when I say I'm going to interview him, I'm basically just going to hand the microphone to him and let him take over.
Come, Brody.
Worth hanging around for a little bit of Rex tonight, and there'll be a bit of emotion for Rex. That's such a massive chunk of your life, and as we said before, his great mate Sam Newman fronting up tonight, winding the clock back to the great times that those two have had. Webster. That's a nice move from Hunter Clark. Daniel Wells got a clever little hand in there. And then followed up again, did Wells. Thomas, hurry kick, almost a little Gaelic solo. That was from Tom Phillips.
And then a shuffling handball back to Scharenberg. His kick into a pretty dangerous spot. Treloar, Thomas, Adams. Long handball to Varco, came from side bottom. Varco, look at that vision. Hoskin Elliott, goal. So they transition from one end to the other. And Hoskin Elliott kicks his second, and they hit that 100-point mark. So lovely work, end to end. The Varco vision was just superb.
That was their 5th goal from defensive 50. So they've linked up, had some good passages of play tonight, Collingwood, and pretty solid win in the end, a 5-goal win.
He's got 5 seconds left, the great man.
Yibbity yibbita.
There he goes. Look at the old enforcer behind him there too, just feigning a bit of interest late. Thomas wide, there's your siren. End of one of the great broadcasting careers. Well done to Rex Hunt. What a superstar. And a great win for Collingwood. Important game for them, and they've achieved what they came here to do. 28 points in the end for the Maggies. That man is. When he plays, the team he plays for generally wins. That's how Daniel Wells' career's gone. Side bottom's a star. There are the two brothers, the Phillips boys. There's mum and dad. What a great thing for them to be here to witness. Cameron Ling down at ground level has the star of tonight's proceedings with him.
The man who's kicked 6 goals, Jordan, well done tonight. Fantastic. Good win, first of all, but nice to find a few goals as well.
Yeah, definitely can't complain. Obviously, getting a result in the end is really important, but doing my bit for the team is probably the best part about it.
And you've obviously been given the challenge to play as that forward. The forward line's copped a few injuries as the deepest forward. Do you love that role?
Yeah, I do. You sometimes get a couple of cheapies out the back, but nah, it's just a good roll. If the ball's moving well, it makes it a lot easier. So now, like today, we moved the ball pretty good towards the end there and started to free up a few blokes. So.
And it seemed to function really well. Trav Varco had a good game. His pressure was huge. Daniel Wells as well. Just a really creative, different-looking forward line.
Yeah, definitely. We're pretty small in the end there, so pretty much 6 smalls when Coxie was off. But yeah, just the way he pressured and hunted them, that was probably the best part about it.
You're just starting to feel like you're really settling into your AFL career now. Obviously, all the distractions aside, just feeling really comfortable out here on the field.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, getting the result we want's probably the best part about what we do every week, just making sure the process is right. But yeah, I'm feeling good, feeling comfortable, so I can't complain.
Sensational effort tonight, mate. Well done.
Jordan De Goey with Cameron Ling, 6 tonight. 2 weeks ago, 5 against the Brisbane Lions. So say no more. Nathan Buckley, a happy man. Got a bit of the stubble going there, Bucks. But he's happy too. 5 and 4. They're nicely placed, the Magpies. Back down to you, Cameron Ling.
I've got Steel Sidebottom with me. We nearly did just take you out with the camera. Apologies for that. No injuries, fortunately, but well done tonight.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it was a bit tired at half-time, probably tighter than what we wanted. But, yeah, the boys were able to probably get back to playing our game style a bit towards the second half. We sort of got stuck playing that slingshot kind of footy, which they're good at. So it was good to come out after half-time and play well.
Was that their pressure seemed pretty good in the first half, but the third quarter, you guys were able to just really strangle them and get some reward on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and we knew their pressure was going to be hot. So I think that's our game style, is when the pressure's up, locking the ball inside our forward half and just keep giving our forwards a chance. So yeah, to get the 4 points tonight's good.
Just had a chat to Jordan De Goey. Not a bad effort playing as the old traditional full forward, 6 goals.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, a couple of big blokes go down with Darcy and Reedy, and Geordie steps up. So we've got good depth, and we back anyone that comes in and plays a role.
And the skipper coming back as well, Scotty Pendlebury. Just his calmness around the stoppages, you seem to feed off it as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think when we get stuck in those kind of quick games, he's the one that can control the footy and slow it down for us. So